I don't think art is about shock. I think art is a lot more serious than that. Art has become like the new church. People go to art galleries now to contemplate and to think differently and to have space and to have time. People perceive art in a very different, it's almost like how it was once, like in the early Renaissance. Art has another meaning within today's society with all the noise and with all the chaos. Art is a silent, quiet place where we can contemplate when we think. So I don't think art is there to shock. I think art is there for a place for us to think, whether we're looking at it in a book or whether we're actually going to the museum or the art gallery to look at it. I think there's all different kinds of artists that make different kinds of art, have different reasons for making art, different beliefs, different levels of empowerment with art. So I think it's different for everyone who's an artist. But for me, it's important that I lay myself bare because that's what I do and that's what I'm good at. So I make work that's very personal. I've never tried to be deliberately confrontational about anything at all. All of my work comes from me working through something, having a dialogue with myself, working out something. My life might have had controversial moments, and if I make work about my life, then of course people may think that's controversial, but I've never set out to be controversial, ever. My framer, Mark Derbyshire, and he still frames my work for me today, Derbyshire Frame Makers. 18 years ago, he framed up my first show that I was having with Jay Joplin, and it was called My Major Retrospective, and it was at the Small White Cube in St James's. And Mark had to frame up about 56 pieces of memorabilia, my very early work. And the bill was quite high, but it was Mark's first big job as a framer, and it was my first ever show. And Mark said he had great reservations, was really worried that even as much as he wanted the job, he thought he shouldn't do it because he didn't think the stuff would sell, and I might get in trouble, having this show and not being able to afford to do it. And 18 years later, Mark frames my work all over the world, massive, great big frames, it's like, and we always laugh about this, the fact that he gave me this really lovely, kind advice, but it was so wrong. I would say definitely go to drawing classes, learn to draw, take a camera around with you, and research in art, and try and learn as much as you can about art history, about what's gone before, because that's going to be the big sort of platform and foundation that helps you with your own future. Let's hope our playing has a kind of slightly anarchic side to it and shows true British creativity. Britain's brilliant. Street fashion, art, music, Britain is well ahead of any other country on that. And that's what British Airways are trying to show people at the moment. So, and also food. So, we're up there.